Hi y'all, so today we're doing inequalities involving quadratic functions. So this might be new-ish. We've done solving inequality, that's when you add the shading to your graphs and find your double shading or whatnot, but now we're going to use quadratic functions instead of lines. So the steps are graph the function, and then from the graph determine whether it's above the x-axis or below based on if they're wanting it to be less than or greater than. So step 1, we're going to graph our function, and to graph the function I will need to know the intercepts and the vertex. So 1, graph function. I'm going to start with my y-intercept because it's the c value. So -12. So 0, -12. And then our x-intercepts is when we say 0 equals x squared minus 4x minus 12. That can be factored to x plus 2, x minus 6. If we set both parentheses equal to 0, we would get x equals -2 and positive 6. And then lastly, the vertex. So -b over 2a. Plug that back into our equation. And that equals -16. So our vertex is 2, -16. Now I'm going to graph the equation. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's good enough. Okay, so 2, -16 is our vertex. And then 6, 0, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then -2, 0. And then our y-intercept of -12 and 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. And now just connect our points. And we were wanting to know when the function is less than or equal to 0. So when our function is below the x-axis. And that's from the x of -2 to -6. So we are below the x-axis from there to there. So we're looking at our x values. So from -2 to 6. And we're going to write that as a, you can write it as an interval or a point. So f of x is less than or equal to 0 from -2 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 6. Or you can write it as -2, 6. So either one of those is fine. So let's try another one. We have 2x squared is less than x plus 10. And then we're going to graph the solution set. So first I'm going to put it all on one side. So 2x squared minus x minus 10 is less than 0. Again, start by finding the y and x-intercepts and the vertex. So the y-intercept is -10. My x-intercepts would be 2x minus 5 times x plus 2 equals 0. So x equals 5 halves and -2. And then my vertex would be -b, so 1 over 2 times 2, which is 1/4. Plug in 1/4. And once you plug this in, you should get -10 and 1/8. So our point would be 1/4, -10 and 1/8. I'm going to graph this function. Okay, good enough. And we look something like, here's -2. 5/2 would be 2.5. And then 1/4, -10/8, something like this. Connect our points. And there's our -10 y-intercept. There we go. So this function is less than 0 from 5/2 to, or -2 to 5/2. So f of x is less than 0 from -2 to 5/2. And here I'm just using less than signs, not less than or equal to, because our original inequality was just less than. Then lastly, and graph the solution set. So something else we could do is graph the two equations. One is y equals 2x squared and one is y equals x plus 10. When you graph these, let's go ahead and put those in the graph. So we have 2x squared and we have x plus 10. Plot. And the original equation is trying to find when the 2x squared is less than x plus 10. So when the blue line is below the red line. And that would be from the x, if I do menu function intersection, from -2, menu function intersection, to 2.5. So you can do it that way as well to get both your solutions. Then last example, we have x squared plus x plus 1 is greater than 0. And then graph the solution set. So first our y-intercept, our c value is 1, so it's 0, 1. We'll find the x-intercept. This can't be factored, so there is none. And then the vertex would be -b over 2a. And then plug -1/2 into our original function. Plus 1, which equals 3/4. So our vertex is -1/2, 3/4. And we're going to graph this. So we have our y-intercept of 0, 1, and then our vertex, we know it opens up, so I'm gonna do some symmetry. And since there is no intercept, the function is just greater than 0 because it's never below the x-axis. So since this graph is above the axis the whole time, for all real values of x, we have a solution. So we write it as f of x is greater than 0 for all values of x, or x is all real numbers. because above x-axis is the whole graph. So that's why we are on the real numbers. All right, let me know if you have